drastic change in the children after they took to regular chanting of the Mahamantra. She has been instrumental in forming an online community of adult blinds who follow a devotional life. Due to her long association with the visually impaired soul, she identifies their depleted emotional state, their needs, their interests, and formulates the sessions accordingly to provide personal care, and then latches them to the highest spiritual power which is derived from chanting the Mahamantra. They are gaining mind control and spiritual strength by following this process. She made a number of braille books. In fact, she is the first one to introduce Srila Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita as it is in the world. So she made a lot of braille books with an intention to make a library of spiritual books based on the teachings of Gaudiya Parampara, which will be useful for many such special souls in future to come across the globe. So far she has made following books: Jagannath and Dasha Avatar Stories, Gopala, the Protector of Cows, Vaishnava Songbook, Traditional Education, Modernity is Killing the Civilization, Village Life, Light of Bhagavata, and last but not the least, as I said, Bhagavad Gita as it is by Srila Prabhupada. So, henceforth she plans to make audio books and create a sacred space in the form of farm community. Actually, that's what her Guru Maharaj stands for. He is very specific about farm communities and Varnashram Dharma. So, she wants to take that forward. And she wants to make farm communities for the visually impaired people so that they can live at one place and practice spiritual and material life peacefully and go back to Goloka, which is what we all are aspiring for. Her main goal is to do some formidable service and live by the instructions of her Siksha and Diksha Gurus. She will soon be starting her youth sessions. She seeks your prayers for an active spiritual life, and apart from all this, I am very fortunate that I got a lot of her association. I can share my heart with her, and I've seen her in a very, very humble stage. I recently her mother left for Goloka, and I saw her personally serving her day and night, many months before. Like, she would be there, personally there, she would leave all her commitments. Most of us, we like to do things which are visible, right? Which comes on cameras and everywhere. But she is the one who likes to stay in the background, and she does big, big things, but she shows it as if she has done nothing. She's very, very humble, and I've seen the way her mother was so dependent on her. She would personally take care, read out Bhagavatam till the last breath. And this is how we should live an ideal Grihastha life, a devotee life. It's not just about reading or speaking scriptures, it's living scriptures. And that's what I've seen in her. She has been an idol sister, and her brothers, her children, her husband all look up to her for guidance and support. And I've seen her husband, her Prabhuji, is also very supportive, all because she had lived these roles in a very perfect way. So there's a lot to learn from her. Thank you so much for taking out time, and thank you so much for giving me the kind of association, though I'm not able to extract so much from you. Thank you so much. So her great Champaklata Mataji ki Jai! 3 loud Hari Bols to enter, to welcome her.
Hari Bol! Hari Bol! Hari Bol!
Hare Krishna. Om Agnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shall I stand?
No, Mataji.
That's okay with you because I'll be more lively. So, welcome you all to this abode of Sri Sri Radha Madan Mohan. And I'm very grateful to all of you for spending a very important Saturday holiday afternoon with all of us. I'm also very grateful to the management of temple and also the girls, boys leaders who have given me this great opportunity to associate with the young, bubbly, cheerful ladies. Thank you all so much. First, coming to the topic, I just wanted to tell you that I chose this topic because this stands out to be very important to myself also. How to get past our past. This is the topic. And how to move forward and make a new beginning. Right? This is the topic. And normally, I sit and I I will sit when I want to practice so much.
Before you start.
Yeah. So normally, the mind is such that it keeps taking us into the past, time and again. Am I right? Yeah. And as most of you may be knowing, that the self can be evaluated at three levels. We have the body, mind, and the soul. So if you draw an analogy to the body, being the gross body being the hardware of a computer, because this is the analogy which most of you will be understanding. I'm trying to draw that analogy. So what happens in the mind is something that most scientists have tried to study and know. But our scriptures and age-old Puranas give a lot of insight into what happens there. Right? And when we think of the mind, the first thing that comes to us is, the mind is full of thoughts, right? Both negative and positive. And normally, there are certain levels in which the mind functions. Most often, we are not focusing. When we are not focusing, our mind goes into an imaginative state. And this imaginative state is a subtle state. And what happens in the imaginative state? Everything that is in the deep recesses of the mind comes up. Like, falane din aise ho gaya, something went wrong. And normally it is either the financial losses or the death of a loved one or the relationship issues, the breakup, separation or divorce. These are the issues normally that come up in our mind. And how to actually tame the mind is a big question, because even Arjuna in the Bhagavad Gita, he questions Lord Krishna. He says, Chanchalam hi manha Krishna pramati balabhadre. He says, my mind is so restless, it is so obstinate, it is so difficult to tame it. What do I do, Krishna? He says that. And then Krishna goes on to give a long lecture about how to control the mind, or how to focus, or how to actually bring the mind to certain senses. And he also talks about the body, mind, intelligence, and the soul in all four levels. And he tries to tell that we have to actually nourish our intelligence so that our mind becomes pleasant and happy. But this kind of awareness has to first come to us. Like what awareness? That we are not this body, we are not this mind as well, and we are the soul. So there's a small experiment which we all do together, because the more interactive it gets, the pleasant it gets, right? So what you all can do, since you have just had your lunch, one caution is that, when you close your eyes, you are not supposed to go to sleep. And you have to respond to me just after that, okay? So, if you just close your eyes, all of you, take a deep breath. What do you see on the screen of your mind? Most of you may be seeing that it is very dark. Some of you may be seeing me speaking here in the mind. I am actually seeing all of you in front of me. And sometimes the mind can even take you to your home, right? Or maybe some of you have gone to your college, or some of you are thinking about some relationship issue, or some of you are, meditating on something that went wrong. And then when you step back a little bit and try to see, who is this actually who is seeing me? Then you are not able to see yourself. But you understand that since I told you to step back a little, you have taken a couple of steps backwards, but you are not able to see who it is. So that means the mind is like a screen, and the mind is actually projecting a lot of things. You can open your eyes. So the mind was projecting a lot of things on the screen, right? And actually, the mind is like, if you take this palm, all the 5 fingers are like the 5 senses. So the mind is grouped around these senses, and all these senses are capturing the images from outside. The eyes, nose, ears, tongue, and the skin. Rasa, Rupa, Gandha, Sparsha. All these things are being taken and lodged in the mind. So what's happening is that all the emotions and thoughts are going into the mind from the 5 senses. Also, there's another technique wherein whatever gets lodged in the mind, not just in this birth, It has been happening from many births. So everything is getting launched. So why is it that sometimes when you meet somebody who is very new to you, but you feel so good about meeting that person. You feel so pleasant. You feel so happy. Just like I am feeling very happy to see all of you here. So there must have been some connection, right, from the past. So that's the reason why you build that relationship spontaneously. And the other side also is true, wherein you are meeting a person for the first time, but you don't like the vibrations at all, right? So that means there are lot of chitta vrittis, that means the thought process that gets embedded in the mind. So basically, the mind can give you pain and pleasure. But the most fortunate thing is, the mind is not you. The mind is not me. So that means there is an observer who is actually even seeing the mind. So similarly, the mind, intelligence, the body and everything physical and subtle is not the real me. So this awareness that I am not the mind, body and whatever physically, it gives me a good feeling. Why? Because if you actually nourish the intelligence and the mind, then it starts behaving very nicely. So say supposing there has been some financial loss. Okay? Somebody has wanted to buy a house. Okay? He goes to a realtor, he pays a lot of money, and the realtor says, you have paid the money, but you will not see the house. You will come only when I ask you to come. So for more than a year, he is taking money and money from you, but he doesn't let you know what is the progress of the house. So how do you feel? You get scared, right? You are scared. Why? Because you are investing something, you want the house to be a reality, you are dependent on somebody, so that somebody is from whom you are having an expectation because you are paying something, right? But if the item or whatever product is not delivered to you, then how do you feel? Very restless, very unhappy, very insecure. So the Shastras say that the mind is such that it either goes into Shoka, Moha or Bhaya. Shoka is actually lamentation of the past. Whatever has happened in the past, ye hua, falana hua, somebody hurt me, somebody troubled me, I had a boyfriend who got separated, he was too timing me, there were a lot of issues with the friends. It can be anything. So the lamentation is like, all the negative thoughts that are there in the mind. Right? So Shoka. Moha is of the present. Like I am attached. I am illusion. Because I don't know that I am not this body, I am not this mind. So what do? I have all the material goals. And the moment I think of satisfying the material goals, what happens? I try to, run around, focus my consciousness on the externals. My consciousness is always rooted in people or things. So what's happening? I'm getting attached. I'm getting illusion. So Shoka, Moha. And the third thing is Bhaya. Bhaya or fear is always of the future. Are we afraid of our past? No, because it's already over. So we are afraid of what? Our future. So like this, our mind actually puts us in Shoka, Moha and Bhaya of our past, present and future. And when this awareness comes to us that we are not the body, we are the soul, we are actually very happy. And how do we learn that we are not the body and we are the soul? When we read the Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, when we hear from our mentors, when we try to understand the basic concepts from the basic level in a progressive way, in a systematic way, then we are very happy. Right? Am I right? So how many of you are hearing the Katha through some of your mentors? Right. So first is the awareness part. And the second is the association. What kind of association do we have? Like all these tools and techniques also I am going to give on how to actually tame our mind. Okay, but before that there has to be some basic on how to actually come to a level of understanding what is going on in the mind. So first thing we have understood. What did we understand? Awareness. So the awareness came to us that we are not the body, we are the soul. Second thing is when we understand that whatever association we have, just like you enter the shop which is selling perfumes, automatically after staying there for half an hour, how do we smell? Perfume smell. But when we go to a place which is stale or which is dirty, very insipid things all around, so we also have that kind of aroma coming out from our body, right? So similarly, if we associate people with people who have healthy mind, healthy spiritual quotient, then we can also become very healthy. So this kind of wisdom we need to draw from wise people by staying with them. This is association. And there are a few things that we need to know, like when I said that we have to get past our past. First thing is, like I want to say it in the form of an acronym, PAST. P is for purpose. Like how many of us have a purpose in life? Okay. So can anybody just shout out your purpose in life? It can be anything. Wow, very good. To please Guru and Krishna. Okay, but purpose can be anything. You don't have to think of only the spiritual purpose. If you have a material purpose, you can state that also. That's all right. How many of you have a purpose? Yeah. Yeah.
To become CA.
Oh, chartered accountant. Wonderful. So you're saying it in the temple, so soon you will be a chartered accountant.
Very good.
Okay. Anyone else wants to say? Business person. Okay. So you have a purpose. But is it a purpose or is it a goal? I want to understand. Is it a goal? Goal, right? So purpose is different from goal. So even a chartered accountant who has a goal to become a chartered accountant has a purpose also. Isn't it? Because her purpose may be to serve the society, as she said, to serve Guru and Krishna, right? So that means goals are destinations, but purpose is a direction, right? Because when you go deeper, when you try to understand certain things in life in a wise way, through the scriptures, you develop a cause for which you work. I'll give you an example. Just let us suppose that there is a writer who has a habit of writing, right? So his goal is to make or write some books. That is his goal. Earning money can be his goal.
Yes.
To become famous also can be his goal. So likewise we have certain destinations, like to become a writer or a chartered accountant, or for some people, I don't want to be any of these things, but I just want to complete my studies, get into a job and get married. That's also a goal, right? So you can have destinations, but if you have certain purpose added to it, like a writer, the purpose is to write, isn't it? The real purpose of a writer is to write, but his goal may be to become famous, to earn a lot of money, to see that a lot of his books are read by people. That is the goal. But you need to have a balance of both the goal and the purpose. Am I right? Yes? But there is something much beyond this. When you say purpose, that purpose can be material also. But when I talk about a spiritual purpose, it has to be selfless. So if we want our minds to work well, we need to have a deeper sense of purpose. And that has to be selfless. And try this. If you are selfless and if your goal is to make others happy, to go closer to Krishna and Guru, I am telling you, nothing in this world can stop you from becoming happy. Your mind will listen to you. That is for sure. आपका दिमाग आपकी बात जरूर मानेगा और जरूर सुनेगा. And there is no way that you can be depressed about anything. Because when the mind doesn't function properly, what happens is a mind has a train of thoughts. Train of thoughts means एक के बाद दिमाग में कुछ ना कुछ आते ही रहता है. Like even when we were having prasadam, what were we thinking? अरे टाइम हो रहा है, घर भी जाना है, पता नहीं माता जी और कितना देर हो गई. घर भी तो जाना है, घर पे मुंह तो दिखाना है, because parents do not know that I am coming to the temple. Parents might think, oh, where did she go? They must be worried. आजकल ये तिलक पहन के जा रही है, कंठी पहन के जा रही है, ऐसा क्या आ गया? Like why should she take up so many things like that, right? So I'm sure your mind had a trail of thoughts. But once one thought came, what happened? Did it stop there? No. The mind actually takes you to a downward slope. Why? Because just the trigger is enough, after which the mind is just going down. It doesn't come on the straight plane. It goes down. So that means when the train is going down, don't you need a brake to stop it? And it is difficult also. But even without a brake or even when you are accelerating it, how does the train go? It will go fast only. कोई acceleration नहीं है, slope काफी है, जा रहा है. Because the mind has a habit of taking you to an imaginary world. When the mind goes to that world, what you need to do is bring it back to the physical world. What is the physical world? I need to get back to where I am, and that is an imagination. What is my physical reality? This is where I am, and I need to have a purpose in life. So first write down that you need to have a purpose. Apart from the destinations or the goals or the milestones that you have, you need to have a purpose. If we do not have a purpose, automatically we will go into depression. ये आप मान के चलो, कोई भी किसी का भी आप लाइफ ले लो, they will get into depression. And depression is nothing but having a laid back attitude. कि हाँ, today I don't want to go to college. हाँ, I had a goal of doing this particular course, but it's not my goal anymore. So like this, the negative thoughts, the negative surroundings, and all the impact that you have from the material people and material consciousness will take you to a downward spiral. So having a purpose is the first thing, because these days, how many youth are getting depressed? We know, isn't it? And so many millions of people are ending their lives. Why? Because they have no purpose in life. They have goals, but they think that, okay, smoking, drinking, going around, partying, and making money, wasting time, all these things are life, they think. Just the other day I was watching a reel where in Bangalore, one lady is not even able to stand. I don't know if you have seen that reel, right? She's not even able to hold herself, not even able to stand up. So where is our modern education taking us? There is no mind control, there is no sense control. So it is a very dangerous thing. So first thing is you need to have a purpose. Second thing is appreciation. P-A-S-T. So P is purpose. A is appreciation. We must actually have appreciation for what we have. Lord has actually given so much. Our parents, our siblings, our body, we have money, we have resources, the kind of education that we have had. And for many families, actually having 2 spare meals is a problem. Paying for their fee, school or college fee is a problem. Did we have any of that? Most of us have actually had a very comfortable life, isn't it? So appreciation for what we have, and also appreciation for values which others have. Always appreciate this person, she is so wonderful, she is so kind, she is so compassionate, she is so non-envious, and never become judgmental about anybody. So when we keep the mind healthy with a positive attitude and a happy attitude, we are the happiest. So this is the second thing. And before coming to the S and T part, I want to tell you a small story. Okay? There was a man. Is anybody sleeping? Okay. So there was a man who actually swam in a lake and went to the doctor and said, I think I have swallowed a frog. There is a frog in my stomach. And then The doctor said there's no frog in your stomach, come on, go home, you are fine. But that man is so perturbed. He goes to the second doctor, the third, fourth doctor. All the doctors say, "भैया तुम्हारे पेट में कुछ नहीं है, तू घर जा, अच्छा है." He goes to the fifth doctor, and then the doctor says, "Yes, I just checked with the stethoscope. There's a frog in your stomach, so I need to do operation, some surgery." So he says, "All right, I'm ready. अभी कर दो आप, I'll pay you." Google पे है ना आजकल. So he gives a small incision. And then he tells the nurse, go get a frog from the nearby lake. And then the fellow gets up, they show him, ये frog था तेरे पेट में, निकल गया. अब तू आराम से चला जा, nothing will hurt you, you are fine. So he comes back after 5 days and he says, doctor, you know what? You removed the frog, but you forgot to remove the eggs from my stomach. So they have actually laid some more frogs. I have few baby frogs in my stomach. Please remove them. So a man convinced against his will is of the same opinion still. The mind is like that. The mind will try to go back to its, original state. आप इतना सुन रहे हो, like you are sitting and hearing this entire lecture, but still your mind might go back into doubt, right? And that is because your mind has got so many samskaras which they have culture, which the mind has taken through the nurture and nature. Nurture is from outside, we get nurtured in college or school or through people. And nature is the one which you already have, the characteristics which you already have. So basically, if somebody has any mental disease or mental illness, it's very difficult to convince them. However, we have the age-old scriptures which has prescribed the chanting of the holy names that can heal any sort of thing, right? Especially if it is in the mind, you need to, do some sort of surgery, like the doctor gave the incision and said clinical care. So similarly, you need to actually chant the holy names of the Supreme Lord, the Mantra especially. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So only two senses have to be alert. One is the one which you speak and hearing. So if these two senses are alert, what happens is the mind comes under control. Okay? So first thing is you have a purpose, you are also appreciating for what you have. And the third thing is spiritual. S is for spiritual. Actually, the first awareness which we all have, as I told, is to be spiritual. And what is the spirituality? Can anybody try and answer this? What is spirituality?
The constitutional position for
Simple, no? I'm not asking about religiosity. Spirituality.
the constitutional position of a living entity.
Okay, that's a very spiritual answer. Wonderful. Yeah, constitutional position of a living entity is to serve the Supreme Lord. Okay. But in mundane terms, somebody says, "Arey, be spiritual."
Connecting with the higher, or connecting with the supreme.
Okay. Identifying yourself as a soul, that is spiritual. And identifying that you are actually part and parcel of Krishna. These are basic things, right? So, just like when we eat food, the body is getting nourished. When we read books, what is getting nourished when we read books? The mind, intelligence. And when we chant the holy names, what gets nourished? The soul. Okay? So when you become spiritual, when you do devotional activities like book distribution, having prasadam, just now we all had prasadam. So what was that doing to us? It was adding to our bhakti sukriti. We have two accounts, one good account, one bad account, and the third one is the akarma, or the third account is also known as bhakti sukriti. Bhakti sukriti is a bag in which whatever single bhakti activity you do, just now you had prasadam, so what fell in the bag? Some coins. Bhakti sukriti account got credited, right? And this account is something which will never get vanquished. The soul will go back to Goloka. Till then, that Bhakti Sukriti will come with the soul, no matter in what body, in which body the soul goes in. So that means spirituality is the major component which keeps us going from one birth to the other birth. Your good and bad account, just like you have a credit card, you have an account, you will take out some money, you will spend it. What has happened? Your account has got debited, right? And it will get credited when you earn money. So credit means good bag is getting filled. Debit means the bad, no, actually debit means on the good account is also getting clear. So you have good account, bad account, both get credited and both get debited also. So any bad illness or disease or anything that we have, what happened? Even a crisis or a financial loss or whatever, our bad account is getting cleared, right? You can take it that way. And when you have a good account, lottery लग गया, कुछ बहुत ज़्यादा पैसे आ गए, या you get good, married to a good boy, you get good in-laws. This is all good account. That is answering, right? So good and bad, they keep getting added and debited also at the same time. But when these two bags become 0 and 0, and your akarma or the bhakti sukruti bag gets filled, that is when we go back to Guru. Right? So we hitchhike our wagon and then get back home. So when we become spiritual, what are the activities that most of you like? You can shout loud because you had Prashant. Kirtan. Prashant. Okay. That is Daksha Mataji. Next. Hearing. Okay. Chanting. Wonderful. So you all know what the devotional activities are. So becoming spiritual is another thing which will actually keep your mind under control. So whoever is not chanting the Mahamantra, if you want good mind control, just pick up a mala from the center, start chanting. Even applying tilak, wearing the kanthi, everything is a spiritual activity. Having darshan of the Supreme Lord in the temple, offering an incense, doing vigraharadhana, going and doing book distribution, and helping your mentors in something. The mentor tells you, please make this or do this for me. What is that? That's a devotional activity, right? So try and include small bits or spiritual activities in your life that will add to your Bhakti Sukruti. Okay, when the Bhakti Sukruti gets filled, wait a minute. Does it mean you have entered spiritual life? No. It's getting filled. So what is actually happening? That develops a little bit of Shraddha. Shraddha means faith. Till now we don't have faith. We'll start developing faith. Then you might say, अरे हम तो मंदिर जाते हैं, हम सब कुछ करते हैं, आप बोल रहे हो हमको faith नहीं है, हमको है, we believe in Krishna. So but that is what? Weak Shraddha, Komal Shraddha, delicate Shraddha. That can get disturbed. Tomorrow somebody will say, hey, chhod ye kanthi, chhod ye tilak, come on, get out of all this. This is the time for you to study. This is the time for you to do so and so activity. Leave all these things. So what we'll do? We'll leave everything and go. That is weak Shraddha. And that happens if we don't have enough of Bhakti Sukruti. Did you get my point? Yes. So, spiritual activities not only mean devotional activities, but also doing certain services so that our Shraddha becomes strong. Right? And the last one is the time. How does the time move? Does it move forward or backward? Forward. So how are we supposed to, what kind of thoughts are we supposed to have in our mind? Wrong, negative or positive? Positive. Positive. You have the x-axis and the y-axis, right? When the y goes down, it is negative, right? So from 0, 0, you have to go up like that, or from 0, 0, you have to go down like this. So similarly, when I say time is the divine manifestation of the Supreme Lord, right? And time also has to be utilized in the proper way, and you have to invest a lot in moving into the future, not backwards. Okay? And time is linear. We have limited time, and we have to use that time properly. So the mind has to be told time and again, I am having these goals. And why am I speaking this topic now during this New Year's Eve or whatever? Is basically because at the beginning of the year we have a lot of resolutions, right? But somehow or the other we become weak and then fall down. So that means we have to use our time in the best possible way by having proper association. Whatever association that you have, they will try to build you from zero to the positive axis. Right? So purpose, appreciation, spiritual activities, time. These are the four things if you do, the mind can actually come under proper control. But still, you could say, still I have not grasped a few things, Mataji. Can you give me some quick tips on how to deal with people? कोई लड़ने आ गया, कोई कुछ करने आ गया, तो how do I react or respond? Right? Sometimes you may not be wrong, but somebody may be saying things to you. How do you respond? Right? So what happens is, the first thing is you have to tolerate. Whoever is saying whatever to do, you have to try and tolerate what they are saying. But if it goes beyond the limit, something like you are sitting in this room, if it is very cold, what do? You take your shawl and cover yourself. Similarly, if it is very hot, what do? You switch on the fan. But beyond that, you can't. You have to tolerate, isn't it? So similarly, you try and adjust the situation, but if it doesn't get adjusted, and if people are still being mean around you, try and tolerate a little bit. But if it goes beyond that, then mitigate. What do? Try and mitigate by talking it out. So now, this is what we are thinking, but I think we have to sort this down. Try and have a conversation. But you have heard about Pandavas. So what did Pandavas do? Whatever Duryodhan did, they tolerated, right? Second thing was, the Kurukshetra battle happened. They tried to mitigate Duryodhan only. Right? They mitigated him also. So there may be situations where you cannot tolerate, so better you leave. You don't have that association at all. There could be a third situation where you have to immigrate. What did Yudhishthira do after ruling the planet for 125 years? He gave it to Parikshit Maharaj and left. All the Pandavas, they left and they went away. They immigrated, they left the place. Why? Because it was the end of their rule. But of course, it was not to avoid anything. They just went because they wanted to be Panaprashtis. So similarly, when we are not able to tolerate and mitigate, the best thing is immigrate. Like Chicago, for example, is very, very cold. If somebody is unable to bear the cold, they will wear some woolen clothes. They will try to adjust the temperature in their home. They will try to take a work from home and not at all. But if they are not able to tolerate and mitigate, what they do? They will immigrate from there. They will go away from there, right? So similarly, we have to adjust the situations and understand this is when I need to maybe totally give up on this and move out. Like that. So these are the tools, and the best tool is actually to chant the holy names of the Lord. I'm actually trying to be very brief in my discourse because I don't want to bore you. But at the same time, give you just the basic tips on what to do. And as I said, among all the spiritual activities, the first thing is hearing the holy names. Even Sankirtan, when we are hearing, that is also chanting only. But hearing, chanting, these are the two most important things in the spiritual life. So let us chant the Mahamantra 3 times with our arms upraised. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And one last thing I wanted to say, that when you mitigate or when you try to separate or move away from some people, it should not be like punishing them. For example, a couple had a fight and they decided not to stay with each other anymore. Both of them said to each other, "You are the worst thing that happened to me in my life." Both of them said this. And then they had a child. And they went and told, "You are the worst thing that happened to both of us." So it is the parents who are at fault, but they have punished the child by putting him in an orphanage. So mitigate doesn't mean that you just give up and just forget the whole thing. See, fear is okay when it is good. In the sense, say, supposing something is hot and you touch it, you know that, if you put your fingers in fire, it will burn. That kind of fear is okay. But if you say that, "Arey, I will not cook it all because gas stove के पास जाऊंगी तो मेरा हाथ जल जाएगा," that kind of fear is unhealthy. So in life we have to be wise enough what kind of fear is okay, what kind of fear is unhealthy, what kind of mitigation is healthy, what kind of mitigation is not healthy. So when we are living here, we have to be friendly with everybody, have a good relationship, and that can happen only with Krishna is in the center. Okay? So, and when I said about appreciation, I wanted to tell you one more thing. My mother recently passed away 4 months ago, and all night I stayed up with her, and she was keeping and breathing heavily. And in the morning, just about 2 hours before she passed away, I asked her, "Amma, do you have anything to say to me?" I thought maybe she'll tell me something. She just said one thing, "You have looked after me so nicely, all of you." So that is appreciation. Why I am saying this is, as a doctor, I know that my energies are limited, my time was limited, my patience was limited. Maybe I did very little. But how was she seeing it? In the whole gamut, she only picked up the best from everything, and she appreciated. Most often we have a fault-finding attitude. We try to pick up the negative in everything and everybody and say that, "Yeah, kya tha ye to normal tha, ye average tha." But if you try to see the best in everything and everyone, that is when you feel satisfied at the first moment, right? First place. And then it gives satisfaction to the others also. So spirituality, Krishna consciousness, all these things are only supposed to bring us to that level. So you're all young girls, maybe some of you are studying, some of you might get into a job, some of you may be in relationship, or in the future you might be in some relationships. The first thing we need to know is we have to tolerate and appreciate everything and everyone around us. And when we do, or when we put our first step forward, I'm telling you, just try this, appreciate everything and everyone. I'm telling you, it is not a fake thing, okay? Appreciate in the sense, you try to find good qualities only in people, and you will also say it out. This is spirituality. This is coming to that level of Krishna consciousness, because a Krishna conscious person will not have anything negative in him or her. They will only try to build beautiful relationships and a beautiful life. And this will happen when we start chanting nicely. When we chant nicely early in the morning, or even if you are able to chant for you all because you are working or studying, at least chant anytime, so that we build all the beautiful qualities within ourselves. So for me, my mother is a hero because she had suffered for 28 years with an illness, a chronic illness. She never complained. She never said, "I haven't been able to go for yatras." She never said that, she never had any demands whatsoever. And I'm telling you, I'm not saying this just because I have to glorify her. Most Matajis know my mother. She was beautiful inside out, very humble, very gentle. And why I'm saying that here today is she had a perfect mind control. Even when my father used to be a little irritated at times, she used to stay calm. She never reacted. She only responded, and very beautifully. So these are qualities which we have to build, and they don't come just like that. We have to see in others and also learn from the lives of the Vaishnavis around us. Like you have such wonderful mentors. So try to take cues, appreciate them, try to serve them, try to learn a lot from them. And not only that, it will help you in future and in the present because you are going to step into a married life also sometime very soon maybe. So if you go into a new environments, you need to have a lot of tolerance, patience, lot of love and affection. So just today I was having the darshan of Radha Madan Mohan, and Radharani is holding a small placard with the name
Mohan.
Mohan. And what is Mohan holding?
Radha.
So it's about others. When you are spiritual, it is about others, giving pleasure to others, giving good experience to the others, giving love and affection to the others. It's not like, what's in it for me? It's not like that. It is about what is in it for them. And that person also will try to think that way. You have to start that. You have to begin that kind of quality in yourself and the others. Okay, so actually, I'm one person who tries to write a few points but never look into the phone or the notebook. I try to speak extempore because when I see the phone or the book, I actually get confused. But maybe I have missed out a few points. I'm sorry about that. And if there is anything qualitative that I have spoken today, it's all glorious to my parents, my Guru Parampara, my Siksha and Diksha Gurus, and lot of Vaishnavi friends whom I have, who actually give me lot of love and affection, due to which I am here. And if I have done anything wrong or said anything incorrect, kindly forgive me. And you're all a very, very enthusiastic, lovely, lively gang of girls. I really had a nice time interacting with you, even though it is this way, but maybe some other time in a close way. Thank you all so much. Srila Prabhupada, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Guru. Hare Krishna. Questions? Oh, if you have any questions, I try to answer. Yeah. Can you get up and speak? Your good name? Megha. Thank you, Megha, for your question. Megha is asking that she has a very good friend. Her upbringing has been extremely material, but now she is trying to come into the spiritual life, as you said. She is okay. She is making tiny steps, but any trigger from outside, she goes back to her normal back, usual self. So she is asking, how do I help her and what do I do? Megha, the thing is, there are a lot of people who have deep, solid samskaras. It is very difficult for them to get clear of their, usual past habits. They need a lot of counseling, and sometimes there could be some psychological issues, emotional and mental health issues also in somebody. I'm not saying this person, but I'm generally trying to give you an answer in such a way that it will help you to pick and choose a few points from what I say. So sometimes you may have to go to a psychological counselor also to understand what went wrong or what is actually going on in her mind. And there could be some chemical imbalances as well. Serotonin, melatonin, there are certain chemical imbalances. So this kind of behavior is associated with those things also, lack of those. So you need to have a good counselor who counsels that person, tries to understand her entire situation so that you help. But of course, as a friend, because sometimes as our contemporaries, we know that we are of the same age, so maybe she will listen to me. So you can try and speak to her and give her as many good experiences. First, it need not be spiritual at all. You just have to say, I'm with you. I love you. I'm there for you. So just like good friends, give her all the good experiences and then bring her to the spiritual level. So initially when you start asking them to chant the Mahamantra, sometimes some people may not accept also. So you just can give some prasadam and just tell about your experiences in the temple. You know what, yesterday I went to the temple and we had a large group of girls together and we danced and we had a good party, and this was much more different from our material parties and pizza culture, whatever, pizza parties and all that. You can always say I had a better party there. So I also felt jubilant. You can always say that I felt more happy or satisfied and content in this kind of association. So that might give her a chance that he can let me also try and go to this kind of a place to maybe bring her once, but she need not stay for the entire day. If she wants to go after pressure, let her go. Like that. So, but yes, you can pray for her. The best thing is a prayer, because when you pray, it is a direct conversation that you have with the Supreme Lord. You request Him, you seek blessings for your friend, and you give prashadam. So this is what you can do at the moment. Any other question? Hare Krishna. Are you all having fun?
Yes.
Very good. So we are having an amazing association, great games, very delicious prasadam. Everybody has had nice prasadam now. So all this in girls' boys would not be possible without our great advisory members and our favorite mentors. So you can also ask questions to our mentors who are present here, advisory board who are present here, and before asking questions, let me give a brief introduction about them. Okay, first we have Anandita Devi Mataji. She was born on 19th July 1962. She has a degree from Hindu College of Guntur. Later, she was married to His Grace Narasimha Studidas Prabhu in the year 1982 because she was utmost interested in studies, continued her studies even after marriage. So she also has two children. They are well settled in Krishna conscious. Mataji is attached to ISKCON in 2000. At the age of 36, after 2002, she was connected to ISKCON Adults, along with her husband, who is serving as BV leader in the temple for 15 years. She is a mentor and giving counseling for young girls and newly wed couples to inspire them Krishna conscious. Next, we have Divya Leela Devidas Mataji. Mataji is a BCom graduate. She was initiated by His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj in 2011. She joined ISKCON in 1997 and has done her Bhakti Shastri course in Abbott's Temple. Mataji started conducting house programs in 1997, and many Maharajas visited Mataji's place, and Mataji got a really great opportunities to render prasadam service to many Maharajas who visited Hyderabad temple, and also many senior devotees and brahmacharis. Mataji is married to His Grace Prema Kirtan Prabhu, who is the BV leader, counselor, and core committee member of ISKCON Hyderabad team. Mataji renders a service in temple, especially on Sundays and in festival times. Mataji renders a service in cooking, washing dishes, or in Jagannath Rath Yatra, Deep Seva. She does all many activities which are given to the Mataji. Currently, Mataji is assisting Prabhuji in Bhakti Vriksha and also doing cooking seva for Radha Madan Mohan. We also have the Association of Karunaradhika Devidasi Mataji. She is a regional leader for Hyderabad chapter of Global Foundation for Ethics and Spiritual Health, an international non-profit organization established to pioneer ethical and holistic healthcare. She is also a member of Women and Child Committee and Ethics Committee of Global Bhakti Vedanta Medical Association. She is also the co-founder of Sakhi Sangha. Mataji also mentors, coaches, motivates many young girls in spirituality, personality development, value education, devotional service, life skills, and many more. She also takes Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam class to the youth and adults, including doctors. So we also have one more advisory board. Her Grace Vrindakun Mataji. She was introduced to ISKCON in year 2003. Soon after joining ISKCON, she was given a service of Bhakti Vriksha leader for single Matajis. She cultivated many Matajis who are very good preachers in our Rapids congregation now. Mataji took initiation from His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj in 2011. She did graduation after marriage and worked as a teacher for many organizations and left the job after joining ISKCON. She rendered various services for Radha Mother Mohan, led flower garland service for almost 8 years. Her enthusiasm towards preaching is tremendous. She is pursuing her Bhakti Vaibhav course. She is also very loving and caring. She is the mother of 2 children and they are engaged in various services and are also serving as Bhakti Vriksha leaders and adults. She is an ideal devotee for Grihastha couple. So now we also have our favorite mentors who guide us and help us in our sadhanas. So I can see all your face light up after hearing the word mentors. So first we have Sakhi Radhika Devidasi Mataji. She started her spiritual journey at ISKCON Chaupati in the year 2002. During her college days, in medical education, she has masters in chemistry and BA. Currently, she is working in a Hyderabad public school as chemistry teacher. Spiritual education, she has completed her Bhakti Shastri and Bhakti Vaibhav from ISKCON Chaupati. She also completed teachers training course 1 and 2 from ISKCON. She married in the year 2011 and she's a mother of 2 kids. She's staying in a joint family who all are devotees. She got her Harinam initiation in 2015 and Brahmin initiation recently from His Holiness Radhanath Swami. She also guides many girls since 2020. She's a girls voice mentor. She's serving and preparing Sandhya Prog for Sri Radha Madan Mohan, aspiring to remain a humble instrument and serves Vaishnavas for the pleasure of Srila Prabhupada, Guru Maharaj and Krishna. Hari Bol. Then we have Namrata Mataji. She did her BCom Honours graduations with Diploma in Interior Designing from Francis College and married to Dheeraj Agarwal Prabhu. He is a chartered accountant by profession and is serving as a Bhakti Vriksha leader in ISKCON Rapids. Materially, she did a lot of short-term courses. Just to include some, I would say human resource management, psychology, counseling, embroidery, karate, cooking, singing, so many. So she's the mother of 2 children and still a part of a very big joint family, having more than 30 members who are all devotees. She joined the movement in 2000, Bhakti Shastri, and currently pursuing Bhakti Vaibhav course. In ISKCON Rapids, she is playing the role of girls' voice mentor and counselor and was serving as a coordinator for 2 years for girls' voice. Also serving as a part of core committee of Hyderabad Sakhi Sangha, a platform where the Matajis come together for spiritual progress. Also serving in PT's world, dress designing and stitching, and also flower decoration coordinator for festivals like Julan Radya or Pushpa Abhishek. So she also manages Gita Summer Camp course for children from preparing syllabus to getting the books printed for children at the summer camp. Aspiring from His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj and highly inspired by Sri Prabhupada and his preaching mission. She loves to cook and sing kirtan and serve Vaishnavas in the best capability wherever it is possible. Next we have Navya Raghuveer Mataji. Pursued her BTech from Electronics Engineer and worked as a software engineer for Capgemini, and she took a break. Mataji got married to His Grace Ramsundar Prabhu, serving as Bhakti Vriksha leader in ISKCON habits, and she recently started teaching in ISKCON Outpost Mahbub Nagar. She's a mother of 2 children and being in a joint family. All her in-laws are initiated devotees from His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, and Mataji is also inspiring from His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj. She joined ISKCON in the year 2015 after marriage. She is pursuing Bhakti Shastri course now. In ISKCON habits, playing a vital role of girls' voice mentor from 2022 and a counselor, and was serving as a contributor for girls' voice for the past 9 months. She has the passion of preaching young girls and engaging them in various services. She loves dressing nidis at home and cooks for them. So we also have a recent mentor who is Champaklata Mataji. She completed her master's in computer application. She is practicing Krishna consciousness since 2011. After marriage, she came to Krishna consciousness through her husband. Presently, Prabhu is serving as Bhakti Shastri teacher in the temple, and his professionally, he is a scientist in DRDI. So, this is our introductions. Now you can ask your questions to the advisory group. You can ask the questions in any language.
Just raise your hands so we charge the mic. Any language you can ask. Any topic. Any topic. Please open up. Don't miss this chance.
And this is like festival, we all have to seek your association and blessings. Thank you so much for running the class and organizing. So, like sometimes, every time we are coming to temple and we are having association. For example, if we come to Mangalarti, we can attend the Mangalarti and we can complete 16 rounds at a time. Like associate with the association, it will complete it very easily. And when we go to home, like we have so much enthusiasm when we are in the temple and when we have association. After we are going to home, like somehow we have some enthusiasm, but after going home, like we are interacting with other people, like we are going to job or college, school. Wherever we go, some materialistic association we have. But we forgot about Krishna and we naturally mingle with materialistic people and we forgot about sadhana. Of course, we will do our sadhana like 16 hours reading, but there is no rasa like that. When we are in the association, we have so much enthusiasm. But when we are going to home, dealing with other people, we miss that rasa. So how can we attain every time and how can we remember Krishna every time? Thank you so much. Mataji is the best.
What you said is very true. That is a part of association. So it's best to stay in association as much as possible, but I know it's not possible, especially when you're going to college. I think we can all work on making our environment more Krishna conscious. It's possible. Actually, where I work, it was good morning, hi, hello. Somehow today, everybody in my departments, I made them say Hare Krishna. So it's possible. Small steps at a time. So try and talk about Krishna to your colleagues. Talk about a little bit of spirituality to your colleagues. So making the environment a little Krishna conscious is possible. That is one thing I'm doing.
Otherwise also, if it is not possible, carry Krishna in your heart, and whatever you're doing, try and make it Krishna centered. Like for me, when I see a patient, for me it used to be a patient. But slowly as I came to this moment, I see him as Krishna sent this child for me to make him better. So somehow, in different ways, you can apply this Krishna consciousness, our Krishna consciousness to the environment. So carry Krishna in your heart wherever you work. That is one I would suggest. And then, if possible, try and make your environment more Krishna conscious. This is what I can think right now. I'll let others also say.
యాక్చువల్గా డిఫరెంట్ మనం ఫేస్ చేస్తున్నాము. టెంపుల్ వచ్చిన చాలా ఎంతూజియాస్టిక్గా ఉంటుంది, చాలా ఎంకరేజ్మెంట్గా ఉంటుంది. వన్స్ మనకి స్టెప్ అవుట్ చేసాం అనుకోండి, అక్కడ మనకి సేమ్ మెంటాలిటీ ఉండదు, సేమ్ వేవ్ ఉంటుంది కాబట్టి ఆటోమేటిక్గా మన ఎంకరేజ్మెంట్ తగ్గిపోతుంది. సో దాన్ని మనం బిల్డప్ చేయాలంటే ఇంటర్నల్గా మనం కాన్షియస్నెస్ పెంచుకోవాలి. ఇంటర్నల్గా అంటే ఎవ్రీథింగ్ ఈస్ రిలేటెడ్ టు కృష్ణ, అంటే ఎవ్రీథింగ్ ఈస్ రిలేటెడ్ టు కృష్ణ. సో వాట్ ఎవర్ సర్వీస్ ఆర్ వాట్ ఎవర్ వీఆర్ డూయింగ్ ఈస్ కనెక్టెడ్ టు కృష్ణ. సో అలా కనుక మనం మెయింటైన్ చేసుకునే కాన్షియస్నెస్, దెన్ వీఆర్ నాట్ ఇంట్రెస్టెడ్.
I try to tell the way I do, just like Mataji told. Every 5 minutes, wherever you're working, even if you're in college or wherever you are, you keep remembering the Mahamantra, irrespective of where you are. Like I used to be in the midst of some parties where, because my husband was in the Indian Air Force, we used to attend parties every weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So there are people who are drinking, having non-vegetarian food, getting intoxicated or whatever. But I never used to eat food outside. The moment they get to know me why I am not eating, they used to ask me. So I used to tell that I have become a little trying to become Krishna conscious. So this is what I am following. This is where I belong to. So there the conversation used to begin, and we would start talking about philosophy, about Champaklata Mataji, about so many topics they used to talk. They were drunk fully with a glass of whatever, but we were talking about Krishna. And even every 5 minutes, even if you are alone or wherever you are, just keep saying Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Have some stickers stuck onto your table or bed or wall or whatever. And actually speaking, there is nothing material here also, because every atom is full of Paramatma. So in that sense, if you start thinking, there is nothing material. And as Mataji said, try to see everything as people connected to Krishna. They are also part and parcels of Krishna. They are also Krishna conscious, but it is just that at the moment they are forgetful of Krishna. So I was also like that one day. So it is just that I have come here, so we have to be a little tolerant. That's all.
Very, very practical question. It's a very practical and yes. Any other question?
So, my question is, we always say that we have to see Krishna in everyone and every living entity. We have to see Krishna in everyone and every living entity. But sometimes when we go back, like this is a material world, where like the job that we are doing, where people are selfish, egoistic, they have all the negative qualities and traits, and then they are coming back home, and then they are also giving us reversals, like why do you apply tilak, why do you chant every morning and stuff like that. So how do we deal with such type of people, because they are just one amongst all of them, so it's very difficult. So if there are any tips to basically see that Krishna yes, I can repeat the question. Two parts are there in your question. First part is what? So, how do we deal with such people who are materialistic in nature and very involved, that they also involve us into them? And the second part is how to see Krishna. How to see Krishna in every. Please sit down.
that, if we read the Bhagavad Gita carefully, Krishna says that, I'm there alone. So, I think to be able to see Krishna theoretically, yes, we know because we're reading, but I think to get to a platform where we can actually apply that, Sarvatra Mahipashati, Krishna says, to see me in everybody and everywhere, it takes some amount of spiritual advancement. So I think I would feel if even looking at my past also, initially it was theoretical, but as we get into Krishna consciousness ourselves, as you do more chanting and more spiritual activities that we are discussing, there will come a point where you will be actually able to see for real and feel for real that Krishna is everywhere. So I think it needs a lot of spiritual practice. There are Kanishta Adhikari, Madhyama Adhikari, Uttama Adhikari. So there are levels of spiritual qualification. So when you reach a higher stage, then only it will be possible. I think where we are, like you are finding it difficult, it is difficult in theory, but gradually you develop your own spirituality. Do more chanting and more devotional practices, and then there come a point where you have enough compassion to see Krishna in everybody, and that everybody would mean even those with negative qualities. And like Mataji was saying, everybody has this part of Krishna within them. It's just that it's covered. So that is forgetful. So if we develop that compassion, then only we will see and then still excuse. They say don't punish the sinner, punish the sinner, not the sinner. So you should see that yes, this person has a negative quality, but still Krishna is there, but he's just being forgetful. So to achieve that degree of compassion and that degree of tolerance, we have to ourselves be spiritually advanced. So I think I would recommend that we increase our spirituality to be able to come to that platform. In the interim, until we reach that platform, I think just being tolerant. First, again, that first question where you're saying, if they question your spiritual practices, first we should be confident of why we are doing what we are doing. We should have faith that what we are doing is correct. This is very important for all the youth. I know you all deal with this every day. I get this question a lot, where you're beginning your spiritual practices and there are 90 people out there that are not into this and they're constantly questioning you, why do you have Tilat, why do you have Himala? And the modernization has become so much that today, if you talk about God, you're thought of as being abnormal. I get this also. I'm in a corporate world that is so full of materialism. Like if after the word God, they will look at me strangely. But you have to get through this. You have to get through. You will be able to force yourself through only if you are confident in your own faith that you're practicing. If you are confident in your own practices, if you really believe in Krishna, then yes, it's a struggle. I'm not saying by any means it's easy. But then if we have the faith and we want the goal that Mataji is discussing, the purpose and the goal we want to achieve, then we have to be firm. We have to be firm and able to, once or twice, see if you directly preach, it's not going to work. If somebody asks, Mataji said, if somebody comes and asks her why you're not eating non-vegetarian, Mataji uses it as a chance to explain Krishna consciousness. So something like that we can do. Or and then sometimes it cannot be direct teaching, especially in workplaces like you can do. But if they look at how balanced you are and how firm you are in your practices, and if they see what kind of a stable person you are, they will come and they will believe. And this happened practically with me also. So just be stable, be calm, be peaceful, give everybody good advice, and stay firm in your convictions. 2 days, 3 days they won't believe, but 1 week later they will believe. So it depends on how you project yourself as a personality.
Again, a very practical thing, application I should say. Very good question, first of all. In Air Force, men wear amulets which signify their rank, right? So when somebody asks me, why do you wear tilak and kanti, the exhibition is only zarbat hai kya and all that, I said, you wear your amulets with pride. I wear my pride on my face. As a servant position.
Christians always wear cross and they are not ashamed about it. So we should not be ashamed of our, Katmala or Tilak for that matter.
Take one question each. I think many of you are leaving now. If you are leaving, we have a complimentary gift for you. So please wait for another 5-10 minutes. We'll wind up soon.
So we'll have one group photo and we'll have the prize distribution for the winners, and we have a complimentary gift also. So please take the gift and go. Okay? So we मेरी आवाज़ ऐसी सॉलिड
इंडिकेट करें माइक में बोलने के लिए.
हरे कृष्णा माता जी, माता जी मेरा एक क्वेश्चन है कि जो होता है भगवान की मर्जी से होता है, चाहे अच्छे कर्म हो या बुरे कर्म हो. अगर बुरे कर्म करते हैं वो फिर भगवान की मर्जी से होता है या अपनी मर्जी से? मुझे समझ नहीं आ रहा था ये क्वेश्चन. जो पाप वगैरह होता है अपने से, वो अपनी मर्जी से होता है या भगवान की मर्जी से?
अपनी मर्जी से होता है. भगवान हमें को इंडिपेंडेंस देता है. भगवान जैसे भागवत गीता है, इसमें सब लिखा है हमें क्या ऐसे मनुष्य जीवन को मिला है, हमें क्या करना है, सब कुछ दिया है. उसके बाद अब हमको पता भी है कि पाप क्या है, पुण्य क्या है, चॉइस सब है. हमको मालूम है पाप क्या है, पर हम कभी कभी क्या है हमारी इच्छा होती है करने की, इसलिए हम करते हैं, जानबूझ के करते हैं. हमको पता है, अगर आपको पता है तो क्यों करते हैं आप? नहीं करना चाहिए ना. ऐसा नहीं करें भगवान की मर्जी है, भगवान करा जाने का बोलने को आसान है, पर ये अपनी मर्जी से होता है. बात थोड़ा अनजाने में होता है, मगर जानबूझ के भी करते हैं हम बात दोनों. भगवान की मर्जी तो है, भगवान की मर्जी के लिए पत्ता भी नहीं सकता है, बोलते हैं ना, पर पत्ता कम नहीं मिलता है जब भगवान की मर्जी नहीं है. और हम चाहे तो कर सकते हैं ना, बोलने को एक है, करने को एक है, ऐसा नहीं है. मगर हमको भगवान ने भागवत जैसे आपको घर में एक वॉशिंग मशीन देते हैं, आपको कैसा यूज करना बता देते हैं, फिर आपको सही तरीके से यूज करो, गलत तरीके से यूज करो, है ना. उसमें लिखा है, इंस्ट्रक्शन दिए है कि ऐसा यूज करना, अगर नहीं करेंगे तो खराब हो जाएगा. तो हमें पाप और पुण्य के बारे में हर चीज पता होती है, तो हम कभी उसको फॉलो नहीं करते. हम जानबूझ के भी कभी कभी होता है कि हमको मालूम होता है कि चलो ये करेंगे, मच्छर मारने के पाप है, मारते ना, होने के बाद क्या मारते हैं मच्छर. आज कितने मारते हैं, कितने मारते हैं. रात को जब मस्किटो बैठते हैं कब जाते हैं, बोले तो ऐसा भी कर सकते हैं, चलो हो जाओ बोले बुला भी सकते हैं, तो हो जाते हैं. मगर भगवान की मर्जी से जो होता है वो तो होता है. मगर हम थोड़े पाप ऐसे ही हम जानबूझ के भी करते हैं, जो हो सके उतना अवॉइड करो. भगवान की मर्जी से हर चीज होता है. थोड़ा हमारा इंटेलिजेंस भी यूज करना चाहिए हमें कि हमें क्या करना, कौन सी सिचुएशन में हमें क्या करना चाहिए और कैसा अवॉइड करना चाहिए. और पाप तो इतने सारे होते हैं, हमको भी कभी कभी हमको ऐसा पता नहीं चलता है कि हम चलते हैं नीचे चीज क्या जाते हैं, मारते पाप हो जाता है, हमको पता नहीं चलता है. तो ये हम ये नहीं बोल सकते कि भगवान की मर्जी से होता है. भगवान की मर्जी से हम पैर रखते हैं, नीचे चीज आती है और मर भी जाते हैं. तो अनजाने में भी पाप होते हैं, जन्म भी आते हैं, भी होते हैं. और बाकी तो सच है, जो हमारे भाग्य में जो लिखा है वो लिखा है. और हमारी और एक क्वेश्चन है, मतलब जब कृष्ण जी का जन्म हुआ था, जब राम जी का जन्म हुआ था, तब वो जो मुस्लिम क्रिश्चियंस वो कहाँ थे सब? सभी थे. हर जन्म में हर चीज भगवान होते हैं. अब हमें नहीं पता है वो बात अलग है, वह होते तो है, सभी होते हैं. मतलब कहाँ थे फिर वो अचानक आए कैसे, मतलब इस चीज को लेके बहुत कंफ्यूज होती हूँ, मतलब कौन असली भगवान है.
So very recent phase. ये अभी आप जब हिस्ट्री देखोगे ना, सनातन धर्म सबसे पुराना. ये अभी रिसेंटली
ये सब आए हुए सनातन धर्म बाद में, और बाद में क्या हुआ जब राजा आए, सब आए, फिर वो उसको जीतने के लिए उस पर चढ़ाई करे, फिर धर्म इस्लामिक धर्म की बहुत को कन्वर्ट भी कर दिए इसको. वो बाद में वो सब बाद में आते गए. और बोले भगवत गीता में बताया गया है, और पहले भी बहुत सारे लोगों ने बताया है, और बहुत सारी चीज़ों में है. मुस्लिम लोग हैं, इस्लाम लोग हैं, हिंदू है, पर हिंदू धर्म सबसे ऊपर माना जाता है. सनातन है, ये सनातन है. ये जो बाकी है वो कन्वर्टेड है, उसके बाद वो कन्वर्टेड है.
हरे कृष्ण. हम लोग बोलते हैं कि सनातन धर्म सबसे मतलब पहले पुराना है. वैसे मैंने भी मेरे फ्रेंड्स लोगों से सुना है, वो लोग बोलते हैं कि सबसे पहले आदम और हाँ जो भी है वो लोग आए थे. उनका नाम बताया था, मैं भूल गई होगी. वो लोग आए हैं तो वो हमारे सबसे पुराना है, मतलब वो लोग बोलते हैं. और हम बोलते हैं कि सबसे पहले हमारे शत्रुपाल. तो मैं करेक्ट नहीं कर पाती कि कौन पुराना है.
First, I have to questions which she asked. She asked, पाप ऐसे होता है पहले ये आंसर करूँगी फिर आपके. So what's your name? Pooja. So Pooja asked a question कि आखिर जब गलत काम होता है तो हमसे होता है कि या भगवान से होता है? Because ultimately भगवान ही सबसे कराता है. ये उनका क्वेश्चन है, बहुत कॉमन क्वेश्चन है. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, "Prakriti kriyamani gudai karmani sarvashah ahankar vimudhatma kartaham manite." That means we are not the final actual complete doer. There are three doers. One is yourself, because you are desiring it at the first place, whether you want to do the right thing or the wrong thing. If you have proper good sukriti, and if the work has to get accomplished, then Prakriti will cooperate and Lord will sanction. So there are three doers. One is yourself, second is the Prakriti,